This evening, the president's oldest son made a campaign stop in the Ohio Valley where he spoke to hundreds of people. It's our top story. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rich Pierce.
And I'm Kate Davison. Donald Trump Jr. spoke outside of Bully Tools in Steubenville just hours ahead of the final presidential debate. News 9's Gage Goulding was at the event. He sat down with Don Jr. following his speech for a one-on-one interview that you'll see exclusively on News 9.
Good evening, Rich and Kate. Thank you. Hundreds of people packed into the parking lot outside of Bully Tools, a business right here in Steubenville, to hear Donald Trump Jr. speak. The president's oldest son worked to pump up the crowd just 12 days out from the election. Don Jr. started by attacking his father's competitor, Joe Biden, and Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, before attacking the mainstream media. He even went as far as to attack Biden's son, Hunter. Don Jr. said Joe Biden isn't, quote, blue-collar Joe, end quote, and the Democratic Party isn't your grandparents' party or even your parents' party. Following his speech, Donald Trump Jr. sat down with me for an exclusive one-on-one interview where I asked him about issues that matter to you right here in the Ohio Valley. Take a listen to his answers. One of the reasons your father was so successful in the region was his pledge to bring back manufacturing. What is his goal, his plan to bring it back even stronger than before?
Well, honestly, to keep doing that, to hold China accountable. You saw that he renegotiated like Joe Biden's failed NAFTA. We brought the USMCA, and Nancy Pelosi sat on that for 1 year, which really penalized American workers because she didn't want to give Donald Trump a win. That's sort of the difference between the Democrat Party and the Republican Party. You see that now. Donald Trump took on China. He got a trade deal done with them prior to COVID in January. The guy that built the strongest economy America has ever known is the guy that can do it again.
Some of our industrial plants and mines in the area have closed. What would you say to the voters in 2016 that voted for your father?
Listen, we got to bring those things back. The reality is this: Donald Trump created more jobs in America than Obama and Biden did times a factor of thousands, right? That doesn't mean that an individual plant isn't going to suffer. I mean, you can't do everything like that, but you can create a dynamic that allows for them to succeed. If you look at even unemployment today, in the middle of a global pandemic, is better than the Obama-Biden average.
Prior to the pandemic, in our region, 3 area hospitals have closed. What is the Trump administration's healthcare plan?
You got to go through the administration. I mean, that's obviously, thousands of pages of detail. But you've seen what my father has done as it relates for seniors, protecting pre-existing conditions. Joe Biden spent his career trying to cut Social Security. Donald Trump also worked on cutting prescription drug prices so that we pay the same as what people in Europe. I mean, the same drug manufactured in America, sold in Europe, was 10 cents on the dollar to what we were paying in America.
Final question for you. Coronavirus cases in Ohio have been surging the last week. Today, Governor DeWine asking Ohioans to do everything they can to help keep themselves safe and keep each other safe. We see out there not a lot of mask wearing. We see those chairs really close together. How do you reconcile this?
Listen, I think we give PPE to people if they want to wear it. I think, you've seen the way that, the blue states have locked down, and guess what? It didn't change anything as it related to transmissions. The blue states are actually, generally speaking, worse than the red states, but they destroyed their economies in the process. I will go wash my hands very quickly after meeting with people. I will use reasonable hygiene. I'm not that susceptible, right? I don't have pre-existing conditions. I'm young. I'm in decent shape. It's a little bit different. Some people need to take it more seriously, but we can be responsible. We can use extra precaution without destroying our lives, without destroying our livelihoods, our jobs, our businesses, without having our kids go to school. While Donald Trump Jr. was speaking in Steubenville, his father was preparing to go toe-to-toe with Joe Biden in the final presidential debate before the election. The president will campaign in Florida tomorrow before making 2 campaign stops in the Buckeye State on Saturday. Joe Biden's running mate, Kamala Harris, also scheduled to be in Ohio on Saturday. She'll be speaking in Cleveland. If you want to see the full one-on-one interview I had with Donald Trump Jr., head over to our website, WTOV9.com. Reporting live in Steubenville for News 9 Tonight, I'm Gage Goulding.